Hello, welcome to BAM Updates. It's been a very long time. We miss every one of you. And thank you very much for subscribing to our YouTube channel and our pages, whether it's Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Thank you very much for following us. We appreciate you guys a lot. Your support has been very, very great to us. Today, we have a very wonderful guest who will tell us more about himself. Yes, as you know already, we have Mr. Gerald. Mr. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. It's very nice to have Mr. Gerald in our studios today, and we would like him to tell us a little bit about himself.
I am Gerald Boykins from Houston, Texas, in USA. I am very pleased and very honored to be here and interview with you in Ghana, one of my favorite places. Well, not one, but my favorite place on earth.
Wow, that's quite interesting. I love that. One of your favorite places on earth is Ghana.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
This is home for us in Ghana, and we love to receive more of our African Americans.
Yeah.
Especially when we see you guys, we feel so happy.
Yeah.
Because there's a saying that we know what they did to our ancestors. So whenever you guys come back home, we feel like you guys have returned back to us, and it gives us joy, and we thank God for that.
Yes, and that's the way we feel too. We feel like we're coming back home to ancestors that we don't know, but we don't know actually what part of Africa our ancestors have come from. Well, a lot of us, because there have been some research done by many people to determine where their ancestors are, originated rather, but a lot of us don't know, and I don't know either. But regardless, I'm on the continent, and I feel like maybe did not come from Ghana, but they're on this continent somewhere. So
Exactly.
I'm just happy to be here anyway.
So happy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Great. That's very wonderful. I'm amazed by how many or how African Americans are coming to Ghana, because every year we keep receiving our people from the diaspora coming to Ghana, and it's a great privilege for us. And in Ghana we say Ayuko Akwaba. Okay, so I would like to know, is it your first time coming to Ghana?
No, actually, this is my 4th time coming to Ghana, and I've enjoyed every trip. Each time I come, it's not long enough. I've stayed 10 days, 2 weeks, but each time it's not long enough. There's always more to do, more I want to see, and of course a lot more I want to buy, but I can't do that. So, but anyway, I have loved it. Hopefully, maybe I can start some business ventures at a number of other African Americans as well are trying to do. And some, of course, have moved here to live, and they really enjoy it from all of those that I have spoken to so far.
Wow, that's very interesting. It's very true, the part you talk about, if some African Americans receiving citizenship in Ghana is very high in Ghana right now. There's a lot of them, thanks to our dear President Akufo-Addo. Yeah, he made that possible in 2019 when he declared the year of return. That has opened a wide gate for all African Americans to come back home. And some of them who have lived here for a very long time naturalize, and they become citizens of Ghana. And some do apply for citizenship. And like you're saying about businesses, being a citizen of Ghana makes your business establishment much more better and easier.
Exactly.
So it's a great privilege.
Yes.
It's a great privilege.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us more about the kind of business you thinking of maybe doing. Just a tip
Well,
of.
I went to, my last trip here was last year in November, I believe it was, and I had an opportunity to go to Bonwire, and I was just amazed by the kente cloths. They were so beautiful, so crafty, and I actually had an opportunity to see the people making them, and it was absolutely amazing. And I just knew that this is something that not only African American, but people worldwide actually would be very interested in purchasing, because there's so many things that you can do with it. Bernard, a friend of mine here, I attended his wedding.
Yeah.
They wore the kente cloth during the ceremony. There were kente cloths as wall hangers, bedding, just so many things, draperies, etc. They have multiple uses. So I thought this was something that maybe I should do and let other people in the world know about something so beautiful, which is a strong part, as I see, of the Ghanaian African culture here. So,
wow, that's quite interesting. Yeah. Talking about Mr. Bernard, he has been on our show on BAMUPDATES.
Yeah,
and he shared very interesting stories of how he got here. Yeah. And how he felt. From that, I would like to ask you, from your first experience coming to Ghana, what inspires you to come to Ghana, and how has been your experiences so far?
Well, what inspires me, I have always been very, very interested in the African culture. You know, I grew up in a city which was not very much, not even Black American culture, to tell you the truth. So I've always felt like there's more out there. There's more I need to learn, more I want to learn. Yeah. And so I now live in a city in Houston, which the African culture there is much more stronger than the culture where I came from. And so from that, I felt like coming now to the African continent, and I know I could just learn more now.
Yeah.
And in my travels, really Africa is always the top priority right now.
That's true.
So God has blessed me to visit 6 African countries, and each one of them have their similarities, but there are also there are differences.
Diversity.
So it's been a very, very rewarding experience.
Talking about the similarities of Africans, you have visited other African nations as well as Ghana. And talking about the similarities, I would like to know what is the connection between African Americans and Africans? Is there any connections that you have observed?
Yes, I have learned that though we may be on different continents, there's so many similarities till it's unbelievable. I think African American and Africans on the continent here too are very resilient people. We do what we have to do. And life has not been so easy for all of us on either continent, and it still isn't, But nevertheless, we are very resilient. We do what we have to do. We take a little bit and we make something out of it. We always. And I've always felt like African people are extremely intelligent people as well. And when I say African, I'm including African Americans and Africans here on the continent. We are extremely intelligent people. We are very resourceful people. We are very creative. And I see that similarity between the two, as well as as I said, I've been here to 6 African countries, and I see that this consistent there. So African people, Black people, as a ethnic group of people, are very, very resilient, very creative.
So with what you said, that brings me to the importance of this. What are some of the things that we can do as Africans to be able to strengthen this kind of bond, these similarities, together with our people in the diaspora?
I think one of the main thing is getting to know each other. This is getting to know each other as a person. Yes, we are on different continents. We have different backgrounds, but there the similarities and the what's the word I want to use? Maybe the similarities between the two African Americans, Africans on the continent here, are so strong, so similar, till it's unreal. Yes, again, there are some cultural differences, language differences as well, but that strong ancestral DNA that's there, it didn't change.
Very
It
true.
did not change. And I think once we learn more about each other, we'll see that, we are very, very more similar than we think that we are. Unfortunately, there are not enough of us that are traveling here to the African continent to get to know each other. And that's very unfortunate. I actually, in the city I grew up, like I just said earlier, there weren't a whole lot of very extremely little bit of African culture there. So the first person I met from Africa, I was a freshman in college. And I was like, oh my God.
This is my brother.
This is my brother from the motherland.
That's right.
Awesome. And I think, again, as we travel, African Americans travel here, we will see that resemblance right there. You see, you can't miss it.
You can't mix it.
You cannot.
I think I see the same thing. It's not like I think, I know. I see the same thing, the way we do our things, the swag, the understanding. It is easy for us to relate. I understand that we might have different background or upbringing. Yes. And sometimes when I hear some African Americans who think that it is hard to live in Africa, or maybe they feel like they are not really related. But like you're saying, when they come home, then they see that, no, it's a different thing altogether. They can relate. This is the family.
Exactly.
So what's your mind towards some African Americans who have not yet understood the importance of visiting Africa? What's your message for them?
I think that it is very important for African Americans to come over here and visit and experience the culture, because what we see as African Americans on TV is not what I have seen here.
Wow.
And visiting Africa. What we see is a lot of Africans in the jungles. They have bones in their ears, and they're wearing leaves or some sort of animal skin. We don't see that they are actually driving 2023 automobiles, living in high-rise apartments, and huge mansions. We do not see that, And so when Lord, but anyway, when I go back, some people, oh, you went to Africa? Were you out in the jungles? No, I don't like animals, so I didn't go to the
jungle.
But
That's quite interesting.
But I did see people living very well, as well as I did see people living in unbelievable poverty. But then you also have some areas and some people living in the U.S. in unbelievable poverty as well. Now, of course, there may be less poverty in the U.S. in comparison to, the poverty situation here. There may be less, yes. but nevertheless, you know, we do have poverty on both continents. You know, so you need to go there and educate yourself to see how African people live, and stop believing all of this stuff that you see on TV that are not presented by African people or nor African American people, and and just judging from yourself what you see.
Exactly.
And the truth, because the truth is not always presented on US TVs.
Yeah. That's very, very interesting. And it is very true. I'm very happy. It is true because definitely we have some issues here in Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have them. And our leaders and the youths, you know, a lot of people who have Africa at heart are trying to, you know, change the narrative.
Yes, yes.
And we hope that in the near future, these things will be erased and we will be able to, you know, portray or show the Western world or our people in the diaspora how important Africa is. Whatever they have seen on TV, some of these things they created just to scare people from coming to Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. They said civilization started in Africa. So there's no way, you know, some of the things they scare of are existing here on this continent. But yes, of course, we do have some serious cultural practices, which are very important. It's for tourism, it's for education, it's for healing, it's for so many purposes that I think that if they come home to Africa, they can get opportunity to learn those ones as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a matter, again, I think, of educating yourself, not only academically, but in life, period. For me, it has been a living experience to come here, you know, and not sit back and look at what other people have put on American television about a culture that you know nothing about, and about people of your same ethnicity. You know, you must educate yourself. You must learn, see for yourself. You know, and I just refuse to take what I see
on TV.
That's on TV that someone else has said, because even in the U.S. there's a lot of negativity toward Black Americans, and especially males. So I just cannot go for that, and I feel a lot of it is false. It's false, false information. You know, just like there's false information that's we have seen about Ghana, Africa. I'm sorry, not just Ghana, but other African countries as well.
Great. I've really enjoyed. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation we have with Mr. Gerald. And it is very true. His experiences in Ghana have taught him a lot. And I believe that these are some of the things that we need to teach our people in the diaspora, especially those of you who have never visited the continent. I think it's about time that you come home, learn for yourself, just like Mr. Gerald said. Learn for yourselves so that you can stand and say, okay, I went there and this is what I discovered. And when you come, don't stay just in one place. If you can afford, try to visit other parts of Africa as well and learn about our culture and our traditions and meet people. Just like he said, it is important for us to know ourselves, because the more we know ourselves, the better people we become. What aspect of Ghanaian culture have you found more interesting or important to you?
I would have to say an experience I had last night with a Uber driver here. I was asking him something, I don't remember what it was, but anyway, he says that he kept saying the word please, please. So I was like, well, why do everyone here say please? And he says, well, we are taught to be polite and nice to everybody. And I go, oh, okay then. He said, from children. And I said, well, you know what? I've experienced some very polite, nice people here, and they were all saying please, but I didn't understand what they meant, because to us, when we say please in the U.S., it's like please, may I? It's a thank you, sort of, you know, too. But
it's for everything.
A little bit of difference here, you know. And I was like, well, man, you know, I didn't do anything, so, you know, why are you saying please? No, I don't know, but why? That was very, very interesting to me too, and both of us, being the Uber driver, we had to laugh about it, you know. But also, I love the colors, the designs. African people are have some wonderful, wonderful designs, and I see that a lot of the designs and fabric are used on other things, such as this drum over here. That is an awesome example of African creativity. Totally awesome. And the art. Okay, I love the art. I love the art. I tell you, if you visit my house, everybody doesn't call it a home. They said it's the African Museum. And you know what? That's okay by me. I don't care. I love it. Art. I love it. In fact, when my neighbor lived across the street from me, Bernice, she had some visitors, and she just brought them over. Come on, we're going over to Gerald's house at the museum across the street, you know. And that's just, come on over. That's great. That is great.
That's so great. That's very true, because arts is us. Africa, or Africans, if I might say, love arts. So everything we do is about art. Our music, you know, the way we dress, you know, the way we talk to people is all about art. Even the place we see is art. So we are taught from our childhood, just like the driver said to you, to say please to our elderly people, even people who are of our age. I mean, our age mates. Right. We say please all the time. I think we translate it. It makes sense when we do that. It makes more sense in our dialects, in our local language. But when we translate it directly to English, it's kind of a bit confusing to those who own the language. But when we say it in our language, it makes sense. So it is also important to know how to say please in P. Do you know how to say please in P?
Please. I don't. You can teach me real quick.
Me pacho.
Me pacho.
All right. That's quite interesting. Here on BAM Update, we try as much as possible to connect with our people in the diaspora, and we also try to connect with our people, especially those who are in the entertainment sector, which are the artists and all the entertainers and some prominent personalities, just like we have here with us, Mr. Gerald. We would like to go straight and ask Mr. Gerald a specific question about how he sees African descent shaping the future of Africa. To Mr. Gerald, the conversation is getting very interesting and intense. I'm loving all the experiences you have shared so far, the things you have learned from a Ghanaian culture and a Ghanaian perspective. It's very beautiful to have our people coming home all the time. Here on BAM Updates, we believe that the rapid change will come from our people in the diaspora, because we believe that Africa shall be united. How do you see the role of African descent in shaping the future of Africa, and what can be done to ensure that our voices are heard?
Well, I think now, let me start by saying this. You know, we hear often that the youth are the future for all of us, okay? And that is so very true, because we all will be departing this life at some point in time. That's right. You know. But I think that the youth here, they have a different vision as in terms of what direction they want to go, what direction they may see the country going. And I think that that's great because each generation has their own vision, their own goals, their own objectives, etc. But and I would say that they have a tremendous responsibility and a tremendous job to undertake in terms of making this country better. Not just Ghana, I said this country, but I mean life for people worldwide and African people particularly.
That's
Same thing in America as well. But what I think here is one of the missing links here for me, I think, is that the youth as well as each generation needs to completely understand that collectively you have huge power. The power is tremendously collectively. Now, individually, you can start something and you can make some inroads there. And each individual can make some sort of inroads to improving the future. But collectively, Black American youth as well as the African youth have tremendous power that they simply don't realize that they really have collectively, And there must be leadership as well, of course, and those who are wanting and seriously about making change, they need to work with the leaders to make that positive change, as economically, socially, educational, everything.
That's right.
They must make that, and it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah.
And you can weed out those corrupt elements here.
Yeah.
As I heard in all of these African countries, that the corruption is just beyond imagination.
True.
But that can be changed, and with God too, that can be changed as well. So and that's the basic right there. We start with God. That's the starting point. Actually, we start with God, and then we just carry it from there.
That's very, very true, Mr. Gerald. I believe one of our greatest problems we have in the continent is the fact that we are not united, because we are being split apart by the West. They have half of them controlling Africans, some parts of Africa, and half also controlling part of Africa. And it is something that the youth of Africa are bothered about, especially those of us who have Africa at heart, and we see the future, or whatever we are looking for, it has something to do with the United States of Africa. So it gets us worried, but we believe that time will come when Africa shall be united, and we will be able to have our proper clothes on to present to the world what we can also offer. And I'm sure this thing is coming to pass gradually, and with our people in the diaspora, it will even be rapid.
Yes.
So we are so excited anytime we see people like you coming home to us to visit home. And it's incredible. It is very, very incredible. And we appreciate and we thank God for your lives.
Thank you.
I would like to ask if you have a specific message for African Americans who have never visited Africa. What will you say to this person?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think it's clear that a lot of times African Americans feel like they don't have the finances, they don't have the resources to travel to Africa. Even if you have a little money, you just save or do what you have to do to get some money to travel with. There are always all kinds of travel deals. And if you can't go this year, then prepare to go the next 2, 3, whatever years to go. put that little money aside and just stop saying, I wish, I will never. You must hold a positive attitude that you will do it, and because it can be done, and then pray to God for what you want. Ask God if you truly believe in Him and you have faith in Him. Then ask Him to afford that opportunity to you to travel. My first trip I saved and did for years, and I traveled to Europe, and I went alone because I didn't have anyone else to go with me at that time. A number of people wanted to say, oh, I'm going, but when came time to go, they were not there. So I said, bye, I'll see you later. Okay? But it can be done, and stop. You don't have to live in the most fabulous place. You don't have to travel first class. What matters is that you go. That's it. That's what matters, is that you go. And you don't have to eat at the most plush restaurants either. There are some very nice economical restaurants in each of these 6 countries that I have traveled to in Africa. And I have not lived in no high-rise suites at any hotels either. But the accommodations were nice, and that's all that matters to me. Is it's nice, no rats, roaches, etc. Yeah. So I will continue to do that and encourage all of my people, African American people, to come and experience the culture here in Africa, experience the politeness. They're very polite as well, and they're welcoming you. They really want you to be here as well. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gerald, for that wonderful message for all young Black Africans. And thank you for sharing all your experiences with us on BAMUPDATES. We really appreciate you, sir.
Well, it has been a tremendous experience for me to sit here and talk to you guys about this. The African culture, African American culture experience as well. Yeah. And I thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
And talk to you guys.
Thank you.
And my prayers are with you always.
Thank you. Thank you so much.